Welcome, everybody. This is Elba Colon coming to you from Columbus, Ohio with Patrick Anderson. We're going to wait here a few seconds here before we get started so we can have some folks come on board. In the meantime, enjoy the music.
I know I am. This is a great song.
Me too.
It's like something you just fall asleep to, just chill out.
Welcome aboard, Stella. It's good to see you again. Go ahead and start sharing this page. Welcome, everybody. This is Elba Colon coming to you from Columbus, Ohio. Woo, woo! So we're in my gym.
Yeah, we're in a gym. It's impressive, too. And it's bright down here. I love it.
And it is Gratitude Friday. I am so super excited because there's a lot going to be happening this weekend. Mm-hmm. It is Stonewall Columbus Pride.
It's Columbus Pride this weekend, yes.
And I'm so super excited because tomorrow will be my first time actually going to the
parade and everything, right?
Yeah. So if you want to go tomorrow, we could go tomorrow.
I mean, I might be walking. I don't know.
So, guys, I'm so super excited here to have Patrick Anderson because he is actually formerly known as Stella, as a drag queen. And how cool to start this Friday with Gratitude Friday about gay pride. Patrick is gay, right?
I am.
And so we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about a story, especially about the history of Stonewall, which you had shared with me, which it moved my heart. Oh, so much. You know, I had to tell him this, please stop. Don't tell me no more. And because I want you to share it tonight. And also how he became a drag queen. Yeah. Went through the journey, the experiences, right?
Yeah, I think that's the best way to put it, is a journey.
Yeah, and then retire, Stella.
I did. I retired last year, yeah.
Interesting. And how through this process, you was also going through this transformation process. Yeah. So we're going to tap into that.
Absolutely.
So, of course, we're going to start off with the first question. And that question is, and please, everybody take notes, because good stuff kind of out of these interviews. Tell us, what does gratitude mean to you?
Gratitude to me means finding any reason to smile. In everyday life, if you find that reason to smile, that means that you're present, you're in the moment, and you're choosing to see things as a positive spin. So, something can happen to you, and it can either happen to you or it can happen for you. And like, by choosing to stop, breathe into it, smile, you say, this is meant to happen. This is meant for me to learn from it. And so for me, gratitude means just finding that reason to smile and finding that reason that everything happens for you in life and not to you or against you.
I love that because I say this to all my guests. I never heard that before. So I've heard people stop and breathe, right? Or stop, take a deep breath, right? And here you're saying smile. So that's really interesting because this week I had a real hard week, and when I'm in that moment, like,
right.
I intentionally, like you just said it, you didn't exactly say it, but that's what you're saying, being intentional,
right?
To stop and breathe and smile.
Yeah.
And so what are people searching for to smile? Like, if they're in a bad space, what are they searching for to smile?
Ultimately, I find what they're searching for is the choice. The choice of, I recognize what's happening, So do I continue down my path of reaction and make myself even more miserable?
Mm-hmm.
Or do I choose to empower myself and find the positivity in it?
Mm-hmm.
I'm with you on that. I work in a call center, and my day job, people don't come in, they don't call me because everything's great. They call me because there's a problem.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes I'm the sounding board. Sometimes I'm the person they just lay into and say, it's all my fault, you're the one that created this. So it's very easy for me to go quickly into reaction and just say, this is nobody's doing but your own. I'm not helping you.
Mm-hmm.
But I take a moment, put myself either on mute or put them on hold, breathe, smile, and then say, I hear what you're saying. Now let me be the one that supports you. Let me be the one to turn this around. Mm-hmm. And that pause, that powerful moment of pausing is the moment is really a choice point. Like every moment in our lives is a choice point. Mm-hmm. And taking the moment to breathe and smile is for me saying, doing what I will do what I know I'm empowered to do. Mm-hmm. And not let them affect me, but choose my own mm-hmm. my own compass, choose my own true north, and act in accordance to my own values. And there have been times when, like, I can't do anything for a customer, but they will say, I'm done with this company. I'm done with this company who has my car. You, though, I appreciate you. And that's such a great acknowledgement to have, because, yeah, I wasn't able to do anything for him, mm-hmm. but I did. I took a moment, I smiled, I empathized, and I said, I've got your back. I'm doing what I can. I will do everything I can. So the moment to stop and choose and smile is like really just like you saying, this isn't going to get to me. Yeah. I'm telling my face and moving forward.
You said a couple of things really good here. The pause. Mm-hmm. So I understand what it means to pause, like in the entertainment business, yes. Like when we're facilitating a workshop mm-hmm. or doing presentation, it's important to pause. Mm-hmm. You're in the music industry, right?
Yeah.
You sing professionally.
Yep.
You study. You went overseas, mm-hmm. Italy, and I want to say Germany, right? I know for sure
Italy, Germany. I've sung in choirs in England, in France, Switzerland, Austria. Yeah, many places all over Europe.
So when you say pause, you understand that power mm-hmm. in pause. Can you tell us? I know this is kind of spur in the moment, but as a professional, tell me more about that power of pause. Use music as a metaphor.
So a good a composer that knows music inside and out knows that music isn't just sound. Mm. Music is also taking a moment to let the silence happen. Oh. And I had a choir director at Ohio State when I was getting my master's there that said, a rest is not a stop in the music. A rest is a musically placed silence. Oh. So one of my favorite moments when I was singing is I would do a piece and I was connected to it and it came straight from my heart. Mm-hmm. And the piece would end, but there would just be like 30 seconds of silence afterwards because the music was still moving. The mm-hmm. music was still going. I was still embodying the music.
Yeah.
And you could just feel people lean in a little bit more. So in music, when you have a beautiful chorus happening or you have a 4-part harmony happening or even a symphony or a band, whenever you have an ensemble, the power of the pause shows up by letting the instruments take the lead every now and again. Sometimes the strings will take the lead, but then the strings will rest and let the flutes and the clarinets take the lead, and then they will rest and let the strings come in, but the brass get to take the lead. And what that does is just for your performers, mm-hmm. you give them a moment to breathe and recenter themselves. Oh. But then also you let you get to allow somebody else to take the lead and take the music and carry the piece. So it's like I used to say, you know, I'm searching for balance in life. I'm not really searching for balance. I'm searching for harmony.
And what's the difference?
For me, balance is like if I had a pencil and I put it on the tip of my finger here and it's balanced, it doesn't go anywhere.
Right.
Okay, that's balance, but one thing happens and I move it ever so slightly to one thing, you know, like say I move it slightly to the left, the whole thing tumbles.
Right. For
me, harmony is about interweaving. So sometimes work gets to take a step forward while my fun gets to take back, you know, or sometimes fun gets to take the lead and all of that. So harmony implies that it's not always about everything being even keel. It's about everything integrating together to create harmony, to create the symphony of life.
Beautiful. I love how you're describing this, because certainly going back to gratitude, certainly I'm discovering the more I interview people, the power of gratitude.
Absolutely.
And so when you said the power of the pause and letting the instrument take lead, so if we are to, and so that the performers can breathe and recenter. How do you fit in? Who is the instruments that's leading? So we take the power pause so that I and you and I as performers breathe, recenter in life. So who takes the lead? Who takes the lead? Is it the circumstance? Is it the event that's happening? What's the context?
For me, I used to write a blog at work, and I've actually continued this blog, and it's a book that I'm writing, tentatively entitled The Powers That Be. I feel that within each of us, we have 10, 15, 20 superpowers that we can call upon at any moment. So the power of the pause is one of them. So I pause, I recenter, and then I can hear what's being said. I can listen to what's being said, and then I can say, okay, so this person right now needs me to tap into my power of creativity. Or this person needs me to tap into my power of service. Or listening, and this is one that I love writing on. This person needs me to tap in and say, I have to invoke the power of no. I have to create a boundary, a healthy boundary that says, this is where I can go. So for me, the power of the pause is taking a step back and then choosing which instrument I will use.
Yes.
So the instrument might be a violin because it's creative. The instrument might look like a saxophone because it's fun and energetic. The pause might lead me to say the power of empathy. So the power of like the harp because it's comforting. You know, whatever that means to you. So the power of the pause to me has been probably the most beneficial tool I've ever learned in my journey of transformation, because being able to take a moment to breathe, calm myself, and, you know, not internalize and take something personal, not react in anger and just be pissed off or be passive aggressive or be sarcastic or condescending or arrogant. Taking the power of that pause is just saying, okay, I'm now choosing an empowered response.
Beautiful. You know what? Oh my gosh. Are you guys taking notes on this? Because this stuff is good stuff.
I see Brian Lomberg's here. Hi, Brian.
Hey, Brian. We love you too. Oh,
that's my buddy.
That's right. So this is really good. The power of pause. As you was talking about the power of pause, being connected to the power of gratitude, I see that power of pause is gratitude.
Absolutely.
Because what you describe without you saying it is what I hear is space.
Absolutely.
So that power pause gives you that space. The power of gratitude gives you that space to breathe, to recenter, and just think about how to respond versus react.
And it brings you, what people don't realize, the most powerful thing about the power of the pause is it brings you to the now. Like the pause and the now, honestly, it brings you just right there.
Yes.
And, you know, you're not thinking about, I'm going to say this, or I'm not doing this,
right.
or you're not thinking about, correct. I'm going to do this because I want to hurt them, or I want to
yes.
get back to them because they're making me angry. No, the power of the pause is bringing yourself to the power of, to just this present moment. And then again, choosing that empowered response.
I interviewed early in March when I was doing my 21-day gratitude challenge, and I think
I loved it.
Yeah, right.
It was awesome.
Day. Yeah. I think it was day 3 or 4 that I interviewed Diana House.
Yes.
And she was talking about this very thing about respond and reaction. How, and I didn't, like, I never even heard of that, but what I'm hearing is how you take the power pause, power gratitude to create that space and to choose a powerful response.
Absolutely.
Beautiful.
Absolutely.
Are you guys taking notes on this? This stuff is good. You know, I try to, you know, when I started this journey of gratitude, I had my own interpretations of gratitude. And I thought that was really it. And the more I interview people, I'm realizing the spectrum of gratitude. There's so much. And this is so beautiful. And with that being said, let's now go to talk about gay pride. Because when I said spectrum, the rainbows came to my mind.
So I'm going to say I was supposed to find a rainbow flag. I realized I don't own one, but I actually bought this just for Alba today. So I have a rainbow Scooby-Doo I can share here. So there we go. So we've got a rainbow here. We've got Scooby-Doo.
We tried. We have 500,000 people coming to Pride Parade. We didn't find a flag.
So
next time.
That's fine, right?
Next time.
In the meantime, we got Scooby-Doo.
We got Scooby-Doo. So. Oh, me too. I grew up with Scooby-Doo. I grew up. So let's talk about Stonewall, because you were telling me the history. I don't know why I never thought about going to Wikipedia or Google search. So you tell us the story of Stonewall, and then we're going to jump into how you became a drag queen.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So the history is that in 1969, it was January 28th, 1969, the Stonewall Inn in New York City was a popular hangout for people who were openly gay. Also for, the spectrum. It was a safe space for gay, homeless teens, drag queens. They all had this safe space, but being the 60s at the time, it was sadly very commonplace for police to raid it and, cart people away. Because at the time, it was illegal to be openly gay.
Wow.
And that night, again, January 28th, 1969, I'll have to fact check on that, the raid was beginning to happen, and there was a riot. The patrons of the Stonewall said, basically, no, and started to fight back. And I know the stories, I don't know the history on this, but the stories that I've been hearing are that the big people who were in the front saying absolutely not and started to fight back were the drag queens, the performers. And, and maybe it could be that they were, they were the most visible, so they were the ones that people remember. But ultimately, the Stonewall riots is what many consider to be the birth of the gay pride movement, because at that stage in the game, that was when people wanted to say, we're gay, but we're not immoral, we're not criminals, we're not, all this list of things that you'd say that we are. We're just people that want to express our love the way that you do, and in everything, and we want to be safe and all that, just like everybody else. So that's the condensed history of Pride, and that's why Stonewall and the Stonewall riots are considered to be the birthplace of gay pride. And now, every major city in the country has some sort of gay pride celebration. So, which kind of I guess in a way leads to me being a drag queen. When I did drag, it would have been 8 years this last April. Wow. Had I continued it since I retired. Originally I did it for one of two things. I did it because I thought it would be kind of a funny joke. Nobody would expect it of me. I was this, straight-laced, hardcore opera singer that I thought, this is kind of fun and kind of silly. Maybe people would enjoy it. And I was performing at the time for a group called Bearvilities. Bearvilities does a show, or used to do a show, every April that raised money. And at the time, we raised money for Camp Sunrise, which is a respite camp for kids living with, or either affected by or infected with HIV/AIDS, to give them a chance to be kids. Like nothing more, just kids at a summer camp having fun. Right. So when I started doing drag, my whole intention was just to go in and do it for a good cause, do it to raise money. It was my way of giving back to the community. And I thought one show, maybe 2-3 shows a year. And the more I did it, and the more I found I loved doing the benefits, and the more I was asked to do the benefits, it turned from, one show every couple of months to one show every weekend. So that's how Stella grew. Stella, my stage name is Stella Boheme, and that's really how her career took off. It was from gratitude in the act of giving back. Wow. And it was great because when I had my own shows, that's when I started to say, I want to give back to the community as well. I normally would do, big numbers to give back. We created this fun roast called a bitch trial, which bitch stands for, that was with the Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence. Right. Bitch stands for beauty, intelligence, talent, charisma, and humility, where they get to roast somebody, and normally a local performer in the community, and the community, the person gets to roast them back. Yeah. And all the money we raised that night would go to something of the organization of the person who's being roasted they're choosing. So like I was the first one to be, we called them the high exalted bitch. So I was the first one to be roasted, and all the money we raised that night went to Kaleidoscope Youth Center. Oh yes. So it was wonderful because no matter what my booking was, no matter where I was at, having that opportunity to just give back to the community and ask the community to support itself was just beautiful and awesome.
Wow, that was Kaleidoscope. That's actually one of Next Level Community Service Project that they raised money, and I believe they were the first.
They were the first to raise $100,000. It was what inspired me to continue on with my journey, because I knew so many people from that. That was the group before me. Right. And I was so inspired by that I said, I want to be a part of this. Part of the transformation. Part of the transformation, yeah, because I knew so many people from that.
So interesting. And I know you gave so much and you've done so much, because you were just sharing me on the phone. Oh, no, just the other night, how for Columbus Gay Pride, you won some sort of pageant.
Yeah, in 2017, I was crowned Miss Columbus Gay Pride. Which is a pageantry system that is a lot of creativity. And, there's a state title, and each little city has its own title, and there's a couple other titles with it. But it was a lot of fun to be Miss Columbus Gay Pride and go through the parade, with my tiara on. And I remember it rained. it rained, and my crown actually started to rust. But I would have traded it for the world, because even though I got to be in a car and I held up my crown, I was waving to people.
Right.
Like, people would just, like, they would read the banner, and then I would hold up the crown, and they would just go crazy. Like, yes, so much fun to receive that response.
It was funny because you were telling your story, and you're like, oh yeah, I used to walk 3-4 miles with these heels.
Yeah.
And so I asked you, so how can you turn that story around? And you said, well, at least I got to ride on a car.
Right. Right. And sometimes there'd be stretches of, when I would walk at Stella, there would be stretches of road in between the floats, and like, there's this funny meme going about where it said most people see it as just empty road. A queen will see it as a runway. So I got to walk with this big audience cheering me on just by myself. So that was fun. Yeah.
That's like a girl's dream.
It is. It's a queen's dream too. Yeah.
Yeah. Seriously. Wow. Oh gosh. So in this, now you just tap into about, you was inspired to start your own journey of transformation. So first, tell us, who is Stella? Who is she?
Stella is the socialite that can be found wherever there is music. She loves music. She loves to be immersed in music and immersed in the arts. So sometimes she will be dressed up in her finest gown at the opera or the symphony, hearing the most amazing music being played there. Or sometimes she'll just wear her mini skirt and head to the club and play it wherever there's the best dance music. But the one thing that always drove Stella is music. She loves music. She loves music with a purpose, music with a passion. And the time she would hear a song that just connected with who she was and who her being was, it was the moment she would perform it. So sometimes that looked like doing stuff from the disco era, sometimes from the 90s. Sometimes it was stuff from, the 2000s and all that. As long as there was a wonderful, uplifting message in the song, she would perform it. And she just loved to make people smile.
Oh, and there goes that smile.
Yeah, there's a smile. It started early on.
The gratitude, what you said. When you said when it touched her way of being, what was her way of being?
Her way of being was just like music with guts, music with soul, music that not only was just fun to listen to and you could bop your head to, but the lyrics, there's something about the lyrics that you're just like, this gets me going. And sometimes it was a serious song. Like it could be a Celine Dion song that's just a little slower. Like I Surrender was one I used to do a lot. And I would just stand up there and just perform it. And people would lean in because they could feel it coming straight from my heart. Or one of my best party numbers was Shut Up and Dance. And, I would just get up there and the beat would start going and people would go crazy. Like I wanted you to just enjoy, not me on stage. I wanted you to enjoy this space and the atmosphere I was creating.
Yes.
So if that meant slow and somber, if that meant joyful, if that meant dancing, that's who Stella was. She wasn't just a performer that wanted to be on stage that you could all stare at. Right. She wanted to create the space for you to enjoy what you were and have your own experience as a audience member.
And there goes back to that gratitude. I mean, you can be straight, you can be gay, you can be drag queen, and you can, in all that, you can give.
Absolutely.
That's what I hear you saying, that gratitude for you is about giving.
It is.
And it looks different. And it's all the same. We might all look different and be different, but the content is still the same. Gratitude. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I almost want to cry because I'm gonna be vulnerable here, and not just vulnerable, but really honest. And I know you know this story. We talk about this all the time. Before my own personal transformation, because of my religion background, I had judgment and fear about the gay community. And, for whatever reason, I was afraid. I didn't know what to expect. I really didn't know what to expect because I never had a gay friend, never been exposed to a gay community, none of that. So I came with a lot of judgment. And so when I went through my own transformation, especially the discovery training, that's where I discovered my judgments. And I was so ashamed. Not ashamed like in a bad way, but ashamed like with conviction. Like knowing that's not right. That's not fair.
Right.
How could you? And that's where my transformation actually started, and the walls started to come down. And because of that, especially you, Patrick, you are one of the first people who received me with open arms without knowing these judgment, fear, and just pour love on me. And that just gave me more conviction, like, oh my gosh, here I was judging the gay community. And when I come out to admit, you guys is like, come here.
Yeah.
You guys loved on me still.
One of I think where I feel grateful and I feel so much gratitude is that, again, going back to harmony and going back to the intermingling of people. There are so many, we have a list of letters, like we have LGBTQIAA, and I mean, the list continues to get longer and longer. We say LGBT, I say LGBT, a lot of people say LGBTQA+. I still say LGBTQIAA+, because the second A that oftentimes we as gay people, lesbians, transgendered, intersexed, bisexual, sometimes take for granted are our allies.
Oh.
And, without allies like you, like if we tried to do everything by ourselves, we wouldn't be near as far along. Like I admit, I never thought I would see gay marriage legalized in my lifetime.
Wow. And
that wasn't just us. That was our allies standing beside us. People like you,
right.
And every friend that I have that is straight that has said, "I love you regardless.
Yes.
I'm with you. I'm behind you. You can lean on me."
Right.
And that's why celebrating allies as well as the lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgendered, questioning, queer, intersexed. We're going to take over the entire alphabet eventually. I don't know that I can remember any more words, but where I feel gratitude is gratitude in the allies in my life that have been there for me when I really struggled. So family and friends, all of them are just like, you're fun to be around. We love you. Go live your life and be healthy. Don't be reckless. Be healthy. Don't destroy. Create.
Yeah.
So. This woman changed my life too. So we'll have that discussion later. But this woman changed my life. So.
Oh, I love you. My heart feels so much love right now. So we're gonna get close to wrapping up here.
Okay.
We're gonna talk about why Stella retired, and then we're gonna start the wrapping up. We're at 32 minutes because I gotta ask you these last 3 questions that I ask everyone, and then you're gonna sing a song for us.
I am on my other channel here.
Yes.
So now that you guys have been live with Elba, you can go live with me.
Yes.
And I'm singing a song especially for Elba today. So it'll be awesome.
So tell us, why did you retire? Or tell us why Stella retired.
During my transformational journey, I realized that Stella became a mask. So she served me beautifully in that she gave me a voice when I felt like I had no voice.
Right.
So, which is, something I lived with for years. When I stopped singing professionally, I literally felt like I had lost my voice. So this was another creative outlet, but it was an outlet that I could steer and drive on my own and do my own thing and create my own whatever I wanted. And it was awesome, but the more I did it, the more I realized I was getting lost in Stella and losing who Patrick was. Enter last year when I went through my own personal transformational journey, and I realized I love Stella. I want to be Patrick.
Yeah.
And I started to really dial back how much I performed and started to really dial back, taking time for myself and not divesting so much time into her to a point where I realized, she served her purpose. Now I get to let her go.
Oh.
And for the first time when I retired from any sort of performing art, I felt at peace. Like it wasn't like I'm doing it because I can't do it anymore. Or I'm tired or I'm burnt out. It was like, this is the right time. I'm at peace and I'm ready to live my life as Patrick.
Yes, that sounds so beautiful. Everybody, as you watch the show, I hope the screen's clear because it looks kind of weird in our end.
That's fine.
But it's okay. The point is that you can hear our voice and share this video. Because more people like me who came from a judgmental, fearful past for whatever reason, get to see a beautiful man like Patrick, that this man here is a human being. You and I were human beings. So share this video. Share this video. We are one human being. It doesn't matter what color, what race, what gender, what our sexual preference. That's nobody's business anyway to begin with. That's nobody's business to know what's your sexual preference anyway. I don't walk around to tell people I'm straight. So gay men or transgender, they don't need to walk around. They're human beings.
And the best part is if you come to the festival and the parade tomorrow, all you have to do is stand there and join the crowd. Oftentimes people, you can go up to anybody and say, can I have a hug? And people will just wrap their arms around you. What I loved about walking the parade, especially when I was in Stella, people would hold up signs. And to me, so this is me being vulnerable with you now. One of my favorite memories from last year's parade, I was just walking it. I was having a good time. I saw this girl, could not have been older than 14 or 15, holding up a sign that says, I'm this age and I'm transgendered. And that's the new frontier. That is the next group that is really looking for love and acceptance for who they are as they go through their own process of discovering that. And I went up to her, I saw that, and I went up to her and I just said, I am so proud of you. And she started crying on my shoulder. And first off, she was amazed that, this drag queen with this big hair, saw her. But then when I came to her, I said, I'm proud of you. Never met her before. I didn't see her again. She just started crying because I don't know that she had ever been given that acknowledgement.
Yeah.
So if you come to the parade, just go up to somebody and say, I could use a hug, or do you mind if I hug you, or what have you? And 99% of the time somebody will give you a hug. That's what we want with Pride, is we want love. We want acceptance. And seeing somebody who's a first timer is awesome because we're just like, yeah, come, join us. Welcome.
Yeah.
That's what I've always experienced with Pride and experienced with the Pride Festival. And that's why I love to march and walk with the parade. It's not about a protest anymore. It's not about a protest of visibility. It's a protest of love and acceptance.
Yes.
And that's what I love about the parade.
I love that. Protest of love and acceptance. Wow. So now we're going to wrap it up.
Okay.
So these last 3 questions I ask everyone. So I'm going to ask you the first 2 questions, and then the third one I'll explain, okay?
Okay.
So today's question is, what are you grateful today and why? And being specific in detail.
Okay.
Again, it's something that could have happened yesterday, last week, it doesn't matter, but just one blessing that you're grateful for and why.
Oh gosh, there's so many to choose from. The one big thing I am grateful for is owning my power and owning who Patrick is. For the first time in 37 years, I turned 37 on Tuesday, I finally know who Patrick is. And not only know who he is, I'm proud of who he is. I'm proud of who I am. So I'm grateful for, in this moment, being Patrick and being on this journey to continue to discover and figure out who I am.
And so you're grateful for today because you get to own your power and who is Patrick and know who is Patrick. You're proud of who you are, and that's being Patrick.
Yes.
So the blessing is that you are, that you're grateful for owning who Patrick is, right?
Absolutely.
And why? Why is that?
Why? Because for the first time, I have not attached a title to myself. I have not said, I'm Patrick the opera singer, or I'm Patrick the singer, or I'm Patrick the dancer, or I'm Patrick the gay man, or I'm Patrick / Stella the drag queen. For the first time, I'm at peace and content with saying, I'm Patrick.
Yes.
And just leaving it.
Yes. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. I love that. I so love that. Okay.
I love her.
We could take this conversation a long time, and I'm holding back what I want to add to that, but because of time. Okay, so third question. Now, this is interesting. And if you see I'm sure you have, but for those who haven't seen my show, this third question is, it started with one day I was looking at my gratitude journals and I noticed these blessings. And I was curious, like, wow, look at all these blessings I was looking at through my journal. And so I asked myself, why?
Right.
Because when I write it, I'm thinking at that present moment, that gratitude, that blessing. However, when I took a whole journal and start reading, there was an abundance of blessings. And it's really important to share that to you, because back in the day when I practiced personal self-development, I used to say daily affirmation. I'm strong. I'm happy. I'm joyful. And it was all robotic because I would fake it till I make it, because I didn't believe in myself. So going back to the journal and seeing the abundance of blessings, and I asked myself, why? Well, of course I have these abundance of blessings because I am joy.
Yes.
I am happy. I am strong. I am abundance. I am life. I am whatever that blessing. And no one could take that away from me. Not even my own self. Not even my own ego. No one could take that affirmation away from me, because my blessings was the proof and evidence of who I am.
I love that. The abundance of blessings. I love that.
So my question to you, going back to you, you said that you are grateful for your power, for who Patrick is, that you know who is Patrick, because for the first time, you are not attached to a title. You are content. You are at peace that you can just say, I'm Patrick. So what does that affirm about who you are?
What that affirms is that I'm not only enough, I'm more than enough. And I was thinking this thought as I was driving over here that, in coaching and, when I coach my students and I coach my clients, we do a lot of talking about meet them where they're at. So what that means now by saying I'm Patrick, it means I'm finally meeting myself where I'm at. And that changes from moment to moment to moment. So it might look like I'm Patrick and I'm down here, my energy is here, but I'm still meeting myself where I'm at. I'm still giving myself that grace to say, let me meet myself where I'm at, because then I can lift myself up. So that's why it's so beautiful for me in my life right now. I'm finally meeting myself where I'm at, looking in the mirror and saying, here's where you are, let's elevate.
And so looking at the mirror, that affirms I am
joyful.
Just one thing to attach your blessing that you are so Patrick. Good things. I know. But I know.
That's hard.
One thing is just one thing to it that's going to, because what that does, the gratitude of, that you're owning Patrick now. You're meeting Patrick where he's at. It's linked
to that thing,
to that affirmation. So what is it a link? What does it link to?
What is the affirmation that it links to? Just there's so many good ones, but honestly, the one that continues to come up for me is I am peaceful.
Yes.
I am at peace, and I am peaceful.
I am peace.
I am peace.
Yes, you are. Say it again.
I am peace.
Yes, you are.
She does this to me. She's like, say it again. Say it again.
And I only did it once.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. Normally she would coach me into, I don't believe it. Say it again. She doesn't let me get away with anything. She doesn't. She's seen where I'm at, and she will not let me settle for anything less than greatness. So if you ever get a chance to coach with her, please do yourself a huge favor and go for it.
Yeah, some of them cuss me out. No? They're like, but that's
a blessing. Right?
It is a blessing because it means I connected to where they're at. I met them where they're at. So thank you. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
I appreciate that. So that wraps up my segment.
Yay.
So we're going to have a special song from Patrick, and I'm so excited.
Yep.
So go ahead, turn yours.
Yeah.
We'll let this run.
Okay. I want to move your mouse here.
Oh, sure.
All right. So let's see. I'm trying to find a way to prop up my. That might do it.
Would you like for me to hold it?
No, I think we should be okay here. Actually, there we are. They'll just look up our noses. That's okay. All right. So guys, I've tagged Elba in this. Come on over to my page, and now we're going to do something that I've been doing now for the last 157 days. I've done a 300 songs live challenge, and I'm going to re-tag you here, Elba, so that we got you here, and every night I have been singing a song just to feel. Why is it not tagging you? Well, okay, we'll work with it here. I'll find a way to get you tagged here. But I've been doing a song every night, almost every night, for the last 300 days. The final song, I will actually have moved to Florida, because that is my dream, to move to Florida and go to work for Disney. So come on over to my page here. I'll find a way to get Elba tagged in this, and we'll see you guys there.
Yes.
All right?
Yes.
Let's get this started. And roll them. Well, we're having technical difficulties. Let's try that again. Okay. I don't know what just happened. Oh, but it's not finding you. This is too funny. This really is.
Yeah, because you do this every night.
I know. Like all of a sudden, it just does not work in here. Okay. It also just went through an update, so I wonder if the update's doing that. Okay, let's try now. Behave. We'll get it working here in a moment, guys, because for some reason it's not wanting to behave. So we'll see you guys over there soon. All right. All right.
So what's happening, gang, is that he's setting up his iPad. So if you're watching here, go over there to Patrick Anderson and watch his video. Actually, I'll end it here.
Yeah.
And we'll jump over there. How's that?
That sounds good.
So with that being said, that gives him a chance to play my song here. And so, gang, thank you for watching tonight on a Friday night with special guest Patrick Anderson. Be sure go out there and celebrate Pride in your local city. Here in Columbus, it starts tonight. Tomorrow is the parade. So hopefully, if you see me out there, please come to me and give me a hug, okay? And also, do not forget to like, comment, and share. More people get to fall in love with one another. Okay? I love you. Let's give a kiss and goodbye to the world.
Love you guys. Happy Pride.
Happy Pride.